Hello, everybody. Good morning to everyone. Kevin Chan here, 7:30 in the morning, usual slot here. And today we're gonna go in and continue to look at the Qimen Foundation. And specifically for today, we are gonna be looking at the earthquake, right? So how's everyone doing, right? So now, as usual, our holiday season is basically on the end point already. Today is already the 26th of February, right? So almost at the end of February, right? So just remember, this particular month there's only 28 days. All right, so that's the thing that is happening right now. Hopefully everybody is fine. Chat doesn't seems to be moving today, right? So but it's okay, you know, never mind, it's fine, right? So if you guys are in the chat, you know, you can type in a good morning, type in a hello, so that I know that the chat is basically moving, right? So now, yeah, now let's go back to the Qimen, right? So and when you're studying Qimen, that time eventually you will reach a stage whereby you need to learn how to combine the ingredients inside. So this is like, you know, cooking class, right? So cooking class, you know, when you start cooking, that time you learn about separate ingredient, right? So this ingredient do what, the ingredient do what, then eventually one day you need to toss all the ingredient into the wok and start cooking, right? So same ingredient can be used to cook many different dishes, right? Many different dishes you may see the same ingredient, but the ingredient is going to give you a different flavor, a different punch into the cooking, depending on how you basically cook it, right? So like today is, you know, we're gonna take a look at one of the recipe. It is called the earthquake. The recipe is called earthquake. So we take a look at, you know, what are inside this particular recipe and how you yourself can use this formation when you are applying or when you are executing this Qimen inside. Right, so come, let me shrink myself down to the smaller version, right? So this is tiny version, and you know, go into usual, right? So like this is the you want to call it, this is the standard learning menu. Right, standard learning menu. So if you start to learn Qimen, again, I'm using cooking as an analogy. When you started learning cooking, there is going to be a list of standard things that a lot of people may ask you to learn how to do. Like for example, fry an egg. If you're going to learn cooking, frying an egg, it's going to be, you know, one of the things you're going to do. And next thing maybe is fried rice. Those are what we call staple, right? So these are all the Muslim staple formation. Some we have done already, right? So the three precious formation, which is the three most used or the most popular formation. Bird falling into cave, dragon return, jade maiden, right? So these are very normal one, right? So and then you got the 3 disease, 5 pig, and also 9 dun, and we are going through the 100 stem as well, right? So because that one is fairly big, so I have a separate one that basically does with that. So we will continue with the 5 pig, which were 2 of them we have already done. So let's take a look at it, right? So the 5 fig, 2 of them we already done. We have already done heaven fig. So if you want to take a look at how to use heaven fig, you know, please go and find the video. Or the deity fig also, we have already done it, right? So, you know, if you want to take a look at, you know, how to fully utilize the deity figs effect, you know, you can go and look at the video. So today specifically, we will look at the earth fig, right? So when we are actually studying Qimen, first of all, do not get confused by the name. Sometimes the name got nothing to do with the what we call the actual effect of it. This one especially very dangerous if you are from the English side of the world, right? So English side of the world, when they're approaching Chinese metaphysics, they have this literal understanding, right? So this is also one of the things that I always tell people: if you're using AI to interpret Chinese metaphysics, please be careful. The AI interpretation is very, very literal. So which means chances of it giving you the wrong information is pretty high. You can see this very clearly in the animal sign world, right? So, you know, Chinese, you guys know that, you know, we use the animal sign, which in a proper Chinese study is called branches. The branches has nothing to do with the animal, but if you take a look at it, a lot of people actually model their explanation via the animal. Like for example, you know, this year is the year of the horse, right? They really start telling you about horses, you know. This is where I tell the people, you know, if you see anybody that tells you about the description of the horse, right, you run. The further explanation cannot use. Same thing, right? So if this is an earthquake, It has nothing to do with earth, it's nothing to do with fake. Right, so again, I don't control the naming convention, although I may have some idea on how was this being named, right? So I may have some idea, but that doesn't confirm anything, right? So, and then also there are gonna be people who like to change the name. Yes, especially those that follow Apple too much. Apple love to change name for everything, right? So because they want to be unique, right? So they want their own vocabulary system. It's fine, it's basically fine. It's just that the dangerous part of it is that if you are using a different vocabulary system, you go out and you have a discussion with other people, no one understands you. That's all. Right, so that's it, right? So the official naming convention is called the Earth Fake, right? So which is under the 5 Fake group. So let's take a look at what does the Earth Fake does. Right, so this is the composition. So again, this is the composition. This is how basically a fake is being constructed. So the main, right? So the main ingredient, if you take a look at this, of course, is gonna be the delusion door. Right, so now you need to start to understand the construction of this particular what we call usage, right? So you need to understand the construction of this particular usage itself, right? So then of course delusion door has to do with concealment, right? Delusion door. So delusion door means that the door is closed, people from outside cannot see what is happening from people from inside. So it is a veil of covering to prevent the outside people. Outside people mean that people that are not directly involved with what is basically happening and look at the particular situation, right? So then you take a look at it, then the rest of the component, right? So the action is to hide. So you can see that the delusion door, the actions basically is to hide, right? So now to hide thing, there's a few ways to do so, right? So is to withhold information. That's one way to do so. Or you are at a level which is so high that the lower level don't understand, right? So we call it expertise. Delusion door actually represent a person with very, very high expertise. And you usually do not know or do not understand what this particular person is doing because his expertise is higher than you. So it's like a brain surgeon trying to talk to you. Nothing that the brain surgeon gonna tell you that is gonna be beneficial to you. You won't be able to understand the brain surgeon. It's not because of what, it's just because your information level is just too low. So it's like a multi-billionaire trying to explain financial from their understanding to a person who is struggling to pay for his next bill. No conversation can happen, right? Because one level just cannot understand the other level. So this one is basically talking about some people who are holding back certain stuff, right? Or somebody who has certain thing that is just way beyond your understanding. Right? So that's the basis of it first. Right, so then you are dealing again with the 3 stem, right? So the 3 stem that can do is basically Ting, Qi, and also Kui. So again, last time we have talked about this. This 3 stem has a lot to do with desire, right? So you are trying to trap, like the name suggests, trap people in terms of desire. Right, so it's basically a desire trapping mechanism, and you can use 3 deities. So the deity is basically measuring a person's intention, right? So then you can do a bit of a analysis on it, right? So which means that if you use different combination, right? So like I said, Ting Moon and also Delusion Door, is the effect is very different from a Qi Moon and a Delusion Door. The effect is also going to be different from a Kui Moon and a Delusion Door. I think this one is logically you'll be able to understand it, but all of this, the basis is you are operating at a level whereby there is a big differences in terms of the perspective, or you have certain thing that you are holding back. So what can you hold back? What can you hold back? So of course, if you're talking about moon, then you are definitely holding back information, or you have certain superior information, market advanced information that the other party do not knows about. And what happened here is that you are exploiting the naiveness of the other party, it's a trap anyway, right? So it's a trap, it's a fake thing, right? So that fella doesn't know, the fella cannot see, so you're exploiting that for the other party to walk into your trap, right? So, or harmony is you have certain connection, right? So harmony is always connection, collaboration. You're certain people who's backing you, right? So that human connection that you have that the other party just doesn't know about. Right, so there's a lot of people out there. This one example, a lot of time I tell people is that there is a lot of what those called rag to riches story. You see Bill Gates, you see Warren Buffett, you see Elon Musk, right? So you see all of these people, right? I say that all rag to riches, whatever it is. But if you really study them, go and buy their biography and go and read, you suddenly found out that they are people who is actually from a very different social status. Like, for example, Warren Buffett, the father is a senator. Right? So, the father is a senator, which means that the father will be able to tell the son a lot of things that is basically happening around, and the son pre-know the information and can position himself, in certain company or certain what we call legislative thingy, right? So, and then we take a look at Bill Gates. Bill Gates, the mom is sitting in the board of IBM. It will be damn easy for the mom to say that, oh no, you guys are looking for operating system, my son has one, want to try that out. Elon Musk, the father, is a owner of I think it's an Emerald mine. Yeah, right. So no, these people are not really bottom feeder, right? So they have their safety net, right? So these are harmony. You don't know, right? People don't spread, right? So Earth has to do with a lot of the resources that you have. Earth is usually stuff that you have, right? So Earth is stuff. Harmony is usually people. Moon is usually information. These are things that you can own, right? So these are things that you can store. These are things that you have. Right, so you are concealing this stuff. You see, you are concealing. So the delusion door is to conceal this stuff. So which means that these are stuff that you have, but other party doesn't know that you have it. So which is a very, very good circumstance for you to lay traps. Right, so you make the other party, they don't know, and then they come and attack you, right? So they come and attack you, and then suddenly, surprise, you see, I got this, right? So this is very good if you are in a situation whereby you really want to lay a certain amount of trap for the other party to walk into. Like you are ready to want to make the situation backfire on the other party. These are really, really good formation to use for that. You already know the other party want to attack you, want to do certain things. You choose a fake moment to confront, so that the other party, when they execute their plan, you're gonna be able to counter the plan and land them into massive amount of trouble. Fun, isn't it? Right? So that's basically the fun thing, right? So that's why you can do different combination of doing this, right? So it depends on how you want to structure this particular formation itself. So let's take a look at the what I call a very contemporary, right? So if you want just a graphical thingy, is basically those trap, right? So those trap that you walk by, you fall down, you cannot see the trap. So those trap door, right? Very normal type, right? So yeah, originally it is used for geographical advantage, right? So again, Qimen was originally designed for war, right? So originally designed for war. So this one is a very war application. So of course, if you directly port the war application to your real life, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to apply, right? So this one, if you take a look at it, it is an army. Probably they are in a particular area, so they got home ground advantage. They are actually using the home ground advantage, so they know where to dig hole, they know where to hide people, right? So they have certain information that the other party doesn't have, right? So you are working in an area whereby and the other party doesn't know. So this is to lure the other party into a trap. So you have home ground advantage, so right? So in spot, then that there's certain home ground advantage. Maybe that this particular stadium don't have toilet. The visiting party doesn't know about it. Okay, right? So that could be some advantage for you. I don't know, right? So or you know that the water in this particular area is basically a little bit more harder, right? So right. So then if you come and drink this particular water, usually the stomach wouldn't be good, right? So in a visiting coming over, the other party doesn't know about it. So your group, you all drink bottled water. Let them drink the pipe water. Yeah, right. So it's this sort of home ground advantage, stuff that the other party doesn't know, right? So contemporary usage means that normal usage, as long as your intention is to hide certain things, right? So it will be advantageous to you. So of course, if you take a look at the Earth, then it's using geographical advantage, right? So it's very localized. Harmony just now explained to you is basically using people, right? So and then Moon is basically using information as a ace, right? So now depending on what you actually wanted to do, then you do your own what we call building on the entire thing, so that it will be an advantage over at your own side itself. Right, not a very difficult thing to understand, right? So of course, you can, again, construction of this, you can over time, as you are more aware of how to basically use this, then you can change the way that you actually use this particular. This is not only this, again, it is much like cooking. Once you know how to use a certain ingredient, you can actually use the ingredient and start to mix it with different ingredient to make different dishes. So it's like what we call very not long time ago, there was a crazy about cheese, right? So people use cheese to cook every single thing. So in Malaysia, we have a bit of a crazy about durian. We use durian to cook every single thing. Right, so it's those type of situation can happen after some time. Come, let's take a look at some real life example. Right, so let me just take a look first. Hey, what happened to you? Wait, let me find the screen. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Right, so this is the screen for the Qimen, right? So now if you can see. Right, so now let's take a look. Right, so for you to find the formation, right? So of course, in applying Qimen, knowing the formation is one thing. The important part is actually locating the formation itself. So that one used to be a pretty difficult task to do, right? So because why? First, you need to plot the chart. Then after plotting the chart, you need to search the chart for the right formation. So this is basically what we call a Qimen date selection. Right, is finding the correct date to apply the correct formation. So the formation lends you the energy signature for you to execute this particular plan of yours that make this particular plan stand out. It works. That is the basics understanding, right? So again, want to go and find it is very difficult. Last time, you need to have the chart ready, a lot of things. So that's why Qimen is not among the easiest to actually put into application. But of course, today, very simple, right? So you got software, right? So you go into the software. So again, this is using Taipei Astro. So if you're using Taipei Astro as well, you can use this, right? So first of all, you need to basically select the date first, right? So I'll just go for the entire year, easier. So just go for the entire year, right? So just go for the rest of the year. So we know already the door need to be the Delusion Door. So we will lock this as the Delusion Door. Right, so then of course, you can see, so let's say Heavenly Stem, I will use the Ting Fire. I will use the Ting Fire for the Heavenly Stem. And then the deities, I want to use the Moon. Right, so Ting Fire is basically a representation again of documentation, right? So then the Moon is basically information. So this one is I'm trying to conceal certain documentation that I have, right? So certain documentation that I have in hand, so I'm trying to conceal it, right? So that the other party does not know that I have this piece of evidence in my hand. So I have a certain evidence, right? So, but I do not want the other party to know that I got this particular evidence. I want the other party to, let's say start a court case, you know, so I want the other party to sue me, but I have this particular evidence. Instead of showing the other party, I want them to start the legal case. Once start the legal case, I present this particular information, right? So this is like you are able to present the 不在場證據, right? So 不在場證據 mean that, you know, it's evidence that prove that I was not at the scene. So which means that maybe I have a video showing me that someplace else, you know, or I have a plane ticket that basically show that, you know, I'm not even in the country at that point of moment, you know, with the passport, you know, being a collaborative, that I'm outside of the country, so I cannot be at that particular place, man. But the other party doesn't know about it, you know, the flirt come and you know, whatever it is, after he finish his speech, you know, then I'm going to present this particular, and he's going to be in a bit of a trouble. So I'm going to do that. So let's find it. Where is the nearest, right? So the nearest is February 27th. Oh, February 27th, that's tomorrow. Right? So 11 until 1 o'clock. So we have one of these, right? So no, we got one of this moon thing and together with the delusion door. Right? So we can use this particular formation for that particular day. Right? So no, right? So now let's say take a look. So you can see that the formation got these things called Phoenix diving. Right, so yeah, right, so if it's a Phoenix driving together with the destruction door, you know that if you execute this particular thing, it is basically you're gonna die together with the other fella. Right, yeah, you're gonna win, but doesn't mean that you will not get hurt, right? So maybe that is not what you wanna do. Right, so then you take a look at it, that one, you know, maybe I do not want to really do that, right? So I don't want to, you know, get myself hurt as well. Right, so maybe I want to use 1st of March, right? So 1st of March, again, you know, is Phoenix diving. Again, not good. But this one, at least is just reputational damage because of the hero. So you know already. Okay, right, so hero is a big reputation damage itself, right? So then how? Right, so if you're just gonna, you know, damage your reputation, maybe 1st of March, 5 o'clock until 7, 5 until 7, the hero, this one is a bit more stable if you can take a look at it. Right, so this one at least preserve your, what we call your reputation a bit, right? So this one maybe. So then you know already, okay, so I'm gonna be using this particular, so do confrontation, I'm gonna set the confrontation on the 1st of March. Okay, right, so I'm gonna have the, you know, meeting or whatever it is, you know, on either 5 to 7, this particular timing. So during that particular timing, I will, at test of my ability, right, so I will sit backing the southeast. Or when I am going for the meeting, that time I will travel from northwest towards southeast. So that's how you basically apply this particular energy formation. Right? Not too difficult, right? So now, of course, you know, if you're using the software, if you couldn't be bothered with, you know, all this manual selection, so you can just go into Qimen structure. So this one is all the Qimen structure, whatever Qimen structure that the software developer know. Right? So you can basically take a look, right? So the what we call the 5 fake, 3 noble, where are you? 5 fake, the 5 fake, earth fake, all right? So we go earth fake, then, you know, we go for a search, then you have all the earth fake combination itself, right? So of course, you know, the more you understand your circumstance, the more you know how you're gonna deploy it, so you can use the more, what we call the more correct formation. Like for example, today itself, there is going to be one on the 1 o'clock later, you know, 1 to 3 o'clock, right? So there's going to be one which is utilizing the G Earth Moon and also delusion. This is also still hiding information, right? So hiding information, right? So you can see that it's using pillar. So this one is basically use miscommunication, right? It's using miscommunication as the way of executing this, right? So, or, you know, you're going to put the other party into a situation whereby the other party is going to receive a lot of faulty information, right? So, and, you know, walk into the trap and then, you know, get jackpot by you. Right? So, or, you know, you can use for the 26 is at the night. right? So it's basically at the night, right? So whether you want or you don't do. So at night it's a bit more difficult for you to do execution, right? So especially if you are trying to apply this to the business world, it's gonna be pretty difficult for you to get a meeting at 9 to 11, right? Unless you are going to a disco, maybe whatever it is, right? So you can use this one, right? So it's not too difficult right now for you to do execution application. It's not very difficult to do, right? So last time it's very difficult because of generating the chart is a very laborious work to do so, right? So today pretty easy, just pay for a software, done. Cool, right? So not too difficult. I hope you don't find it as something that is too difficult for you to do, right? So get back to this particular, right? So then we are done with this one, right? So not a very difficult session. Actually explaining formation not too difficult. Is how do you find the right situation and circumstance whereby this particular formation would be the one that will be able to lend you the specific energy for you to do the execution. That is the part which is a bit more difficult. So sometimes when you're a practitioner, it is about understanding the battlefield. So when you understand the battlefield, you understand the circumstance, and then you know what are the results that you actually wanted to do, right? So then you can pick the correct energy signature and to be able to help with the entire execution. That is the part as a practitioner which is a bit more difficult, that require a little bit more practice to get it done. Knowing the formation, no use. This is like knowing how to cook the what we call your fried rice, right? So it's knowing how to cook the fried rice is one thing. Are you able to actually sell the fried rice? Yeah. Right. So hopefully Uncle Roger don't kill me. So Uncle Roger selling fried rice, but okay. Okay, guys, that's it. All right, so see you all. It was a very short session today. All right, bye bye.